A Reddit moderator just called Congress because he lost his job as a Reddit mod. He's making a big call to action after he was stripped of his position as top mod on r/livestream fail. I'm kind of at a loss for words here. I can't believe what I just learned about isn't a skit. And apparently, he's been the talking point of a lot of controversy since the start of the new year. I learned about him from Moist Critical and Atozy. I'll link their videos in the description. Now, I'm not going to call him by his actual name, because I'm kind of embarrassed that I share the same name as this loser. What you picture in your head when you hear the term Reddit mod is exactly what this guy embodies. I have never seen a stereotype more true in my life, but this is him. This is John Reddit.
Hello, Spez, Mr. CEO of Reddit. I hope you have received this public video that I have created and sent to you via your email. If not, I hope anybody who cares about the topic in this video can get this to him in any way that you can. This video is about a topic of deadly seriousness, and that is of Reddit moderation and the state of your platform.
Oh my god. I don't even know where to begin here. This isn't even the video of him talking to Congress. This is him calling out the CEO of Reddit because he believes Reddit mods aren't backed up enough from the higher-ups over at Reddit. Like, they don't get enough support or incentives, despite the fact that what he does is basically the equivalent of a volunteer janitor. That's the thing about Reddit. It's pretty much the only social media platform that doesn't result in any kind of financial gain from success. It's purely done for the love of the game, and that's been known for years. But when he talks about moderators on the site, he's treating them like they're some kind of invaluable tool, fucking G.I. Joe commandos riding off into battle. That's his whole personality. And from what I could gather in regards to this guy, it's not like he's been moderating for very long. He got the position of head moderator back in 2024, and almost immediately afterwards, several other moderators went public calling him out for his behavior. They accused John Reddit of refusing to step down from his position after unanimously voting him out, citing a pattern of power abuse, which checks out given he says this:
I was the top moderator of your #1 gaming subreddit, r/livestreamfail, before I was recently removed from that position by the Reddit Code of Conduct team. I became a Reddit moderator for one reason, and that is because I think that Reddit communities and correspondingly its moderators have massive power and influence, and for some reason, nobody seems to notice, care, or take this seriously. Least of all, its moderators or the company.
Yeah, that's just not a good look, man. This delusion that Reddit moderators and communities hold power and influence over people, and that the sole reason why you became a Reddit mod was because you wanted to feel powerful, which you failed at, by the way. You were such an idiotic asshole that by banning everyone who voted you out, you divided the LSF community, which is why when you now look up livestream fail on Reddit, you'll get two options: the original that is now dead and buried, and the livestream fails with an S that never managed to succeed. You killed the entire Reddit page as a result of your power trip. Now, that's not the reason why he lost his job, and I'm using the word job very loosely here. He wasn't removed because he was some kind of power tripping Reddit mod. He was removed because he promoted a scam on the LSF page. He was responsible for promoting the $1 Million Fan Show through the subreddit, which is a clear violation of their code of conduct. Now, I didn't talk about this scam at the time because I felt like to most sensible people, you could recognize why this was a Fantasy Factory pipe dream. It's an AI-generated promotion that is promising a $20 million prize pool, which would make it the highest grand prize in any reality game show by far. To put into perspective how much money that would be, that is 4 times the amount Amazon Prime gave Mr. fucking Beast. Like, I didn't think anyone would actually fall for it, but apparently I overestimated people's intelligence online, because there were people that bought into it and got scammed. He promoted it on the LSF subreddit, which ultimately resulted in people losing money. So he was removed from his position as top moderator, and rather than taking accountability for his own actions, he instead tries to push the blame on Reddit itself for not giving him the tools to avoid this from happening, even going as far as making phone calls with US congressmen.
I was one of your most passionate users. I was in the Reddit partnership program from the start. I took advantage of every opportunity that I could. I had meetings with kind of the Reddit community managers. I begged them for help and kind of partnership opportunities at every chance that I could. And I was blown off every single time.
Yeah, I just don't buy into that claim about this being out of passion. He already said at the beginning of this video that the sole reason why he became a Reddit moderator was because of the power they have. Even in this section here, he's talking about how he was trying to utilize every possible advantage to get brand deals and shit. That's textbook self-enrichment through this position. It's very clear he wasn't trying to better communities or make the subreddit better for others. He wanted power, which is why he got directly involved with the $1 Million Fan Show and started promoting it on LSF, even going as far as deleting comments through his position that were calling it out as a scam, which is why he lost his position as top moderator. He is a victim of his own hubris. And all of this went down back in January, mind you. Almost 2 months have gone by, and he's still bitching about it. But I guess he wanted to make things worse for himself, because he decided to go and call Congress about it.
These interviews with Twitch and Reddit were scheduled by Republican members of Congress shortly after the Charlie Kirk shooting. They did this because, according to Chairman Comer of that committee, Congress has a duty to oversee online platforms that radicals have used to advance political violence.
So back in November of 2025, the executives from Reddit, Twitch, Steam, and Discord were called on the front of the House Oversight Committee behind a closed-door session about extremist content on their platforms. Those sessions were being transcribed, and at some point, the transcripts will be made available to the public. But Mr. Reddit over here decided to make a big call to action for that to happen. Like, what they're keeping from him is the fucking Epstein files.
Hi, I called a couple days ago about some transcripts for the internet company hearings that happened a couple months ago. It was with Reddit and Twitch and Steam.
So apparently, after he was removed from LSF, he convinced himself that this closed-door meeting was the key to regaining his position. He believes that these transcripts might contain something significant that could help him in his fight against Reddit. Now, if I had to guess what that would be, he probably thinks that these transcripts might contain discussions about moderation on the platforms, which could be the case, but it's most likely in regards to age verification and child safety online. In fact, you can correlate this meeting to Discord recently adding age verification on their platform, which I talked about in one of my other videos. Like, if you want my 2 cents, John, this meeting was most likely just US congressmen trying to convince these platforms to implement age verification, as opposed to the qualities of their moderation itself. That's what I think. But he's treating them less like common government records and more like hidden evidence to help him build a case for himself because he was removed as top moderator on LSF after blatantly violating their code of conduct.
I'm calling back to see about an update of something that I called about previously. Some meetings with internet companies like Twitch and Reddit, and I think people forgot to release the transcripts.
I believe you talked about the staff repeater.
Yep.
I believe, and we got back with the team, and they're currently, and they are aware of that. So that's the update I have for you now, but they are aware.
Okay. Okay, so they are aware. Were they, just to ask, did they forget before, or like, was it just like in the works, or I guess they just were working on it?
It's just in there. I don't have an answer for you, but they are aware.
So he called for 3 consecutive days through different staffers and officials each time, asking them to release what he calls the Twitch and Reddit files. I mean, credit where credit is due. By the 3rd day, someone at least acknowledged the committee was aware of his request. But even with this context, it doesn't erase how delusional this man is. He truly believes him being removed as top moderator on the Livestream Fail subreddit was of no fault of his own, and that Reddit must pay for the consequences of his actions. This is a level of delusion that is more poisonous than cyanide, and it's easy to feel bad for the guy because it's clear this was a position that meant a lot to him, but just his intonation paired with his lack of self-awareness and hypocrisy makes it impossible to side with him. The CEO of Reddit, Spez, wasn't the Sith Lord using his dominant mind trick trying to convince you to go to the dark side by signing with the $1 Million Fan Show. It was you! You were the one who promoted a scam of your own volition, which is why you lost your position on the platform. It just blows my mind that this is his whole identity. I couldn't believe someone like this existed when he first posted that video calling out the CEO of Reddit, which is why I initially thought it had to be satirical. But no, this is just who he is, and he's now pivoted his entire life, I guess, on YouTube, dedicating his channel to making these series of videos, trying to get his position back on Reddit, and calling out anyone who doesn't agree with him that what he does is an invaluable service as a Reddit mod. It's pathetic. I cannot believe he would go this far for a position that's about as valuable as the shit I'm going to take once I finish this recording. And I truly believe this is the worst Reddit mod we've seen, which is not an easy feat. To stick out like a sore thumb in a group that is this infected, it's admirable, to say the least. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this and make fun of the guy because I found it to be comical that he destroyed his dream life of being a Reddit mod because he was just a little too blinded by power. And if you don't want to end up like this Reddit mod, make sure you tip your bartenders and go to church. That's really about it. See ya.